Alright, so we're gonna do the unboxing right here on camera, right by the bog. I mean, ultimately, that's exactly where this plant's about to go anyway. So I'm gonna unbox it, see what we got, and then I'm gonna actually plant it for you, show you what's going on. So let's get this thing opened up. It's taped up pretty good. All right. Got some popcorn. Hold on, let me grab a flower pot and throw that in there real quick. All right, so there you go. Let me figure out how to get in this thing. Well, it's already unboxed. I'm gonna do the unwrapping. Big ball of long fiber sphagnum, and that's it. Of course, as we all know, it doesn't look like much right now, but man, anybody that's ever seen Adrian Slack knows that this plant is a beast. Okay, that's the division. Got a couple nice roots on it. Nice looking grow point, plenty of rhizome on it. Still really firm. That's a good thing to check when you get rhizome divisions, make sure they're not rotten. And that thing's hard as a rock. Got good roots on it, so it should acclimate and take off. I'm glad it hasn't started growing yet. It came from a different climate than what I live in, and sometimes when that happens, if they start experiencing spring a little bit before you, then the plant will start waking up. So let's get it planted. All right, so we're gonna be putting the Adrian Slack in the bog. So one thing I wanted to show you that I kind of failed miserably at showing on the last video is with Sarracenia. So you have, this is the rhizome, which is the woody part that the plant grows on. It's a woody stem that grows underground. And then this is the actual growth point right here. This is the part of the plant that the pictures emerge from. All right, so I failed miserably at this on the last video. So what I wanted to show, what I was trying to demonstrate last time was the rhizome, like just the physical characteristics of the Sarracenia. That's the rhizome, which is a woody underground stem. And then what happens is, as that rhizome grows and gets bigger and mature, it creates growth points. So this is a growth point. This is where the actual pictures emerge from. And what'll happen is growth points will just keep popping up along the rhizome, and that's where you end up with those big clumps of plants where it looks like you got, 10, 15 big, beautiful pictures sticking up out of one plant. What that really is probably like 8 or 9 growth points that are all attached to one plant shooting pictures up. So of course you got your roots, which I got to get these in some water immediately. But yeah, that's the Adrian Slack. Oh yeah, and when you plant it, you want to plant it in the direction that the growth point is going in. So if I'm putting this in a pot, I'm gonna put this part against the back of the pot so that it grows long ways across the pot. So if you're using a square pot, a lot of people like to plant them diagonally in a square pot so that you maximize the amount of room that you have. And then in a round pot, of course, it doesn't matter. All right, so I'm still adding sphagnum moss to the bog. So since I already got to disturb it, I might as well add some more. So I'm gonna actually take a decent chunk out to plant Adrian Slack, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant it with a moss plug around it. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So of course, we got our nice lush green sphagnum in there. And I don't need a lot because this stuff is super thick. And like I've shown on previous videos, I'm just taking the green stuff like that. That's a big plug right there. Turning red already. The heads are starting to turn red. And you can't get it all perfectly, so I just try to orient as much green up as I can, and then cut it, and then pop it in the hole. All right, so that looks like a nice size plug. So what I'm gonna do is take our good friend Adrian slack, and remember, the growth point, I want it going towards the front of the bog, so I'm gonna point it straight ahead. So I'm gonna just get the roots down in there. And then I'm gonna pull it towards the back of the bog. And these plants grow amongst sphagnum moss in the wild. So, of course, we like to experiment, but I figured this is a safe experiment. Nothing should happen to this plant from being planted around this moss like this. It'll root in, and the roots will go down into the peat. The roots will go down into the peat, and the plant should continue to grow, but it'll be surrounded in a bed of moss. So that's about as big as I'm gonna make it. And then what I've been doing is just adding peat back around the moss plug so that it's nice and, it's surrounded by good dirt. Medium dirt, soil, whatever you want to call it. I use those terms interchangeably, whether it's right or not. And if it ain't, I apologize. But yeah. So Adrian slack is in the bog. And you want to also make sure the rhizome, you can plant the rhizome down some into the dirt, but typically speaking, you want the growth point to sit up a little bit. So that's it. This is the finished product.